The countdown to England's next game is on. Hang on. Who's got my script?
Here it is, big man. I got you, you know.
What an assist. This is Lions Den with M&S Food.
Boom, boom.
Welcome back to Lions Den with M&S Food. Now, as I said, the countdown's on. England's next game is nearly here. And who better to give us a little preview than the man himself, Cal?
What's going on?
What are you saying, bro?
No, what's going on, man? It's been a minute since I see you last, obviously on the plane, but now I'm in the den. Let's get it.
Yeah, but it suits you in here. It suits you in here. Now, we got a packed show, bro. Not only we got Sharpshooters, the brand new game. You've seen it over there. We got a VVVIP come into the studio, which I'll tell you a little bit more about. Okay, so let's get cracking. Now, guys, as per usual, we need you to get involved in the show. Let us know where you're watching from, where you're going to be watching the game, all your messages of love and support. Get them in using the hashtag LionsDen. Now, God, let's kick it off, bro, because it was a historic night against
It was.
Historic night. Now, talk me through the moment when you got the nod to come on and make your World Cup debut, because I was actually just behind the dugout, and I see you was going to come on. You turned around and you were grinning ear to ear. I thought, I don't know if I'd be so happy.
No, it was the managers turned. You know, Harry went down, unfortunately, so I started warming up, just experience. You know, make sure you're ready. Manager turned around, like, you're coming on, so I was like, perfect. There was a few of us coming on at the time, so I was already ready anyway, to be fair. And then, Maguire had a situation going on. So basically, the manager was like, look, I'm going to leave it for a minute, and then we'll revisit it in about 5-10 minutes. I was like, perfect, no worries, you know.
That's a calm reaction. You know, when you're ready emotionally, you're thinking, cool, everyone's watching at home, all the guys, I'm making my World Cup debut.
Yeah, I've had bigger games on the PlayStation. I think for me, I just take it in my stride, you know what I mean? I'm enjoying the experience of being here and stuff. So I knew that if it's not going to be now, if it's not going to be this game, it might be a next game. So just always stay ready. And then when it did come, I made sure that I was mentally in the right place to try and affect the game.
Now, it was, I think 10 minutes after you came on, you threw on goal, bro.
Yeah.
Striker, you threw a goal. You could see it open up in front of you. And eventually you assisted it to Grealish, an incredible assist. What was going through your head at the time? Were you thinking, you know what, I might put this bottom corner here?
Do you know, as I'm running through on goal, I've took a touch and I've looked up, and I could see everyone running back kind of thing. Yeah. And the goalie's just narrowing an angle. Took another touch, looked again, and I thought, it's tight here.
Yeah.
It's one of them, you know, guarantee a goal, go for it for myself. Decided to make a decision in that moment, which was to square it. And then, obviously, Jack owes me one, so...
I was about to say, you're calling in some favours now. Okay, I see.
Nah. So I think it's a strange one, because if the game was different, you know, obviously... I would have played that same scenario out again, and we could have been 0-0 in the game. And I think I made the right decision in that moment. And albeit we was 5-1 up, I had every right to go for goal. Yeah. I just feel that,
just a team player right here.
You're
one of the only strikers out here. Listen, we got a guest on the show that might not have been so giving with the ball there.
It's a rare assist. They don't come around often, so you need to grab it with both hands.
I respect it. Now, something I heard that you did that really, you know, it kind of stuck with me, is you wrote on a piece of paper, listen, like, packed for Qatar. That was 4 months ago.
Yeah.
That's some serious manifesting, man.
Yeah. I think, for me, the mind is powerful. Do you know what I mean? So I think, to get me to where I've got to, ability takes you so far, but your mind takes you the rest of the way. And along the journey, you have adversity, so many bumps in the road. You have to have a strong mind to get you over them and, you know, keep going. I finished the back end of the season well, and I thought, right, start this season, I need to be on it. You know, I've got probably 10 to 14 games to make sure I can select myself into the World Cup squad. And I thought, you know what, no better reason than to see when I'll be packing. So I wrote it down in my diary, closed up the diary for a bit, scoring a few goals, got a little setback.
Every time you scored, you put something new in the case. Yeah. I'm going to take out the travel size shampoo and I'm putting the full size ticket.
I think for me, I just was like, that's what I want. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to try and get it and do everything I can to get it. Lads would say to me, where are you going in the winter break? We've got 2 weeks off. Where are you going? I was like, I'm going to be in Qatar, bro. And they're like, is this guy dreaming or something? Do you know what I mean? But then yeah, it's one of them. You know, you speak it and it just comes to fruition. And I think, yeah, I've used that throughout my career really to get me where I've got to. So I just feel it's a powerful tool.
It's working.
And a useful one, yeah.
Where were you when you found out? Because, you know, obviously there's the cases by the door every day. It's a reminder. You know, you're looking at it thinking, yeah, cool, I'm off. But when did the flight ticket come through the door? When did you get that call?
The flight ticket come through on the, you know, a couple of hours before the squad was actually announced. I think I was on the training pitch at the time. I come in off the training field, Trips is there, smiling away like a Cheshire cat. I'm thinking, he must have some good news. He's like, check your phone. So I checked my phone, nothing initially. And then I was like, I ain't got nothing, you know what I mean? I'm smiling, but I'm thinking, nah, devastated inside. And then went into my archive and, you know, Emily, who sends out the messages to the players, I hadn't had a message from England for a while, you know, so I just must have swiped it out the way just to focus on other things. And then, it was sitting there, smiling away to myself, and he was like, have you got a message? I was like, relax. You know?
You trying to play it cool? Red card for you.
Trying to play it cool, you know. Everyone's like, you can be happy, you know, you can be smiling. I was like, yeah. And obviously went out the ring, I was like,
yeah. Doing cartwheels down the training pitch.
100%. So.
Okay, listen, that's nice. You know what? You would have reacted. To be fair, I think if you looked at everyone's reaction so far, that might have been the coolest. That might have been, at least initially.
Cool customer, you know. Cool customer.
Well, you know what? Talking of cool customers, I said we had a VVIP in the building. And it's only right that we bring in the one and only Mr. Ian Wright. Round of applause. Uncle Wright.
I can't even tell you how happy I am to be in the den.
It's all right. Come and sit yourself next to me, brother. Hey, good to see you, man.
You know something? I swear, I'm so excited. I can't even tell you what it must be like for you. Listening to that, man, that's unbelievable. The packing the bags like that.
Yeah, well,
man, put it in the ether.
Yeah.
He said packing the bag, you know, Denzel's gone a bit too far.
Yeah, sorry, I've added a little extra colour to the story.
No, but it's brilliant. It's brilliant,
ready.
man.
So it's a nice story, yeah.
You know, talking to Cal, obviously, you're just over there, about the kind of call-up and the debut. Both kind of made your England debuts relatively late.
Yeah.
How did it feel for you to get that kind of first call-up?
Bro, you know something is what? Because they used to send you that letter, and I used to...
See, this is Wright showing his age now. I think they were on a typewriter when Wright was playing.
In fact, they used to send you the letter. And what I used to always do in that letter was like, I just couldn't stop looking at my name amongst all those names, you know. And it was always really like, just like a moment where I just, God, Jesus, man, is this really happening? It's that kind of vibe. It's like when '98, I got injured before we got there, but Glenn Oddle told me I was playing, and it was one of those. I couldn't stop myself. The emotion took me over because I was thinking I'm going to the World Cup, burst into tears. I couldn't get over the fact that I'm actually going. So I wouldn't be as cool as our Callum was, to be honest, because like it just means the whole world, the World Cup. I'm watching him since 1970, bro.
Nah, wow, that's an incredible time. I think you've just walked into camp here, and we're talking about the energy of this here, Cal. You had a little bit of colour and light to what it's like in camp, and you kind of had a week and a little bit now to kind of soak it all up. How are you finding it so far?
It's been good, you know. For me, I had a period of time out of the squad. So throughout that time, a lot of faces have changed. There's a few new staff members, players, the youngsters are coming through, you know, the Judes, the Phil Fodens, the Jack Grealishes. They weren't there before. And what a group they are. You know, obviously, you've got young with a mix with experience as well. And the togetherness is incredible. And it's nice to be a part of it. In camp, everyone's playing the games, getting a mix and a vibe together and that, and shooting hoops, everything. Yeah. So it's just like, come together, and you see that in a match day, on the pitch, everyone's together, everyone's happy for each other to score. You've got me squaring it, isn't that? Do you know what I mean?
I need to come on to this, because Righty, listen, don't let me put words in your mouth, but I cannot see you squaring it there.
You know something? Callum gave a great explanation about it, and I wish I wasn't that. I was as like unselfish as he was, because it meant so much to me. Coming on at 5-1, I'm thinking I'm going to score in the World Cup. But like what he said was exactly right. You know, you got to give to receive. And, you know, we're talking about giving the ball to Jack Grealish. We're talking about a creative player that is probably going to get himself in a situation where he's going to be passing to Callum at some stage. So he's giving him that moment. So he can.
Yeah, you're going to get it back tenfold. There's interest on that assist.
Exactly. And that's what it comes down to. Because like I say, I remember saying it on the TV, that says to me a lot about the group. That substitute can come on, he's not thinking about himself. He's not thinking about being a striker that's come in and could have been on the score sheet in the World Cup. He's thinking about getting it done, making sure that Jack Grealish will definitely score, whereas my angle's getting tight and I might miss. And then you're thinking about that rather than now knowing Jack owes me, bro.
Yeah, it's true. I like that. Do you know what? On the surface, it seems like a nice thing, but you boys are just thinking about that golden boot.
Yes.
I can tell.
Yes.
Now, you got a few pals here. Like we're going to actually come to the bit because we had trips. We're going to have trips on the show tomorrow. Okay? On the match day show, we're going to talk to him a little bit earlier. How good has it been to kind of have him in the squad? You know, I mentioned there's been some changing faces, some that you do know, but it must be nice to have that kind of rock there to kind of like guide you through, I guess, in a tournament environment when you're away from home for so long.
Yeah, it's true. Me and Trips built up a good relationship before, when I was in the squad previously, and that was before he joined Newcastle, you know, so we would always chat. He joined Newcastle, we even got stronger and closer, and then we found ourselves travelling down to St George's Park from Newcastle together, so it's nice to be sharing that experience with him. You know, he's been to many tournaments before, whereas it's my first major one, and then, yeah, we're just sharing kind of experiences, bouncing things off each other, and he's a good pro, he's a good person to have around in the camp, and he's a leader first and foremost. And it's, I think for him in the dressing room here, also at Newcastle, you know, you can see them leadership qualities coming out in him, and he's one of the senior players here in the camp.
No doubt. Now, right, you're experienced. No, that's what we age these days. You know, you're experienced. You've been there, you've done it at the top level. Okay, is there any advice that you give to Cal first World Cup? You know, obviously come out with a flying start as well, obviously with the assistant.
Yeah, but you say, is there any advice? But you could tell that his way of thinking is something that, like I say, he could probably give me some advice because, like, I'm thinking from the era I was about myself. Yeah. And probably you look back at our time, and we didn't win anything. We didn't even go to the levels that these players have gone to because they've got a different mindset. And I would love to have been in that mindset. You know? But we're talking about a group that are so together that a strike, like I said, a striker coming off the bench, not thinking I could score in the World Cup, but squaring it at 5-1, it says a lot. So you're saying about giving advice, he could probably give advice, because that is a magnanimous like act for me at the time. So all I would say is like, I remember like Glenn Hoddle said to me in '98, I got injured against Morocco just before the World Cup started, the week before, but he said I was playing, said I was involved. And all I knew was, you know what I mean, it was like a case of, you know, he was saying, listen, we know who's going to be starting, but you have got a part to play. I want your mind in the game while the game's going on because you may have to come on and do something because I've had previous of doing that. So I felt like, yes, he's made me a part of it. Unfortunately, I got injured, but the manager did say to me, it's not about just the 11. Yeah. And that's what I would say. If you're coming off the bench and you're sitting on there, just think. I always used to watch when I was playing for England, the defenders, what they're doing. Are they weaker on the left? You know what I mean? Can you run off them? Are they weaker turning that way? You're just watching that on the bench because then you come on, especially like now Grealish owes you. He's the one who's going to like slip you in. So that's all I would say is your focus being on the bench, especially for England, even though you start for your club, is vitally important to what the team's going to do and what they can do.
No, for sure. Now, we spoke a little about team spirit. We've actually got a message from your teammate, Aaron Ramsdale. Yeah, a little question. We get the guys to ask questions. So I want them to play it out right now because it's a nice thing. You know, it's just building up the vibe in the squad. Now, let's have a little look at this.
See what he's on.
Wills, my question to you is, you're so bad at basketball, as we've seen on camp. I'm wondering why you're wearing an Ep.8 arm sleeve when we played together at Bournemouth.
Have you got an answer to that question? He said, why are you so bad at basketball? We've actually got some stills of you playing basketball here. Okay? Yeah. But talk us through this a little bit. You doing the LeBron James, the Kyrie Irving, what's going on?
No. Do you know what it is? Rammers. Obviously, I'm shooting there, 3-point line. It probably went in. He caught me on a one-off.
I like how the net isn't even in the picture.
Yeah, look at
it's nice form.
Technique, everything. I think for me, there was a period of time where I was wearing like tuber grip and a basketball sleeve, but it's because I'm getting laser tattoo removal on my arm. I need to keep it out of the sun. Right, He's obviously thinking of I'm shooting hoops and that still, but you know that was the reason behind it. But I'll put Rammers on the court 1v1, you know. I'll show him the levels. I'll show Rammers the levels. I'll bring back the back in the day, you know. Sinking
we'll bring that sleeve out of retirement.
Hey, 100%. But I think, we have a few little 3-point shots and that, and there's been a few where he's been standing close by and I've not gone in, so obviously that's what he's judging me on.
Okay, so the realness comes
Not
out.
the real me.
Right, you ever had any like fashion faux pas on a football pitch? You know, like anything that you wore that people were like, right, what's he up to?
You know, the one what kind of finished me was dyeing my hair blonde, bro. After that,
That's all the rage these days.
Yeah, I know, but
Look at Neymar.
mine didn't
After
come
that,
back.
it never came back.
Mine didn't come back. It didn't come back.
You bleached it off.
I had to because like they done it a couple of times. Like it was a homemade dyeing as well. So my sister got her mate to do it. First time she done it was gold, then she had to do it again, and by the time she got
At that point, I know you're on decent money at Arsenal. You don't even get down to do it.
No, but my sister said she could do it. And in the end, it just burnt my hair out. That's the only faux pas I had on there, apart from how massive the shirts were.
Oh, yeah. That oversight, that's back in fashion.
Yeah.
But the hair, hair's still in fashion, right? I'm
gosh,
sorry to
man.
have to tell you this right now.
Your bald head suits him, man, isn't it?
Don't worry about that. Better you than me, let me tell you that for free. But before we get to a little bit of beef on this side about the hair game, let's head down to Winchester because our good friend Liam McDevitt is there talking to some of the kids.
Yes, Josh, good to see you. Yes, I'm here in Winchester with some amazing students who all love football, but I've got to see that 1v1. Cal, I'm backing you for that one, so Josh, make sure that happens on Lions Den. But here, we've got some absolutely huge England fans. By way of noise, how much did we love the result on Monday? Wicked. Now, these guys, the energy's been good all morning, and we've got some big questions for the boys. So, Wrighty, Callum, sit tight. There's some big questions incoming. You up for it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. Well, first,
Okay.
we've got Augusta, who's got a big question for Cal and Wrighty. You ready?
How do you handle pressure? And in your opinion, which band is better, Queen or the Beatles?
Big question. So, first one, how do you handle pressure? And who do you prefer, the Beatles or Queen?
Right. Who you going? Cal, you going or should I go first?
I'll let you go because that's
Okay,
your
so
era.
you say how do you handle pressure? It depends on the pressure. Like, for instance, when I had to go into television, I had to do a lot of reading, and I found that I had to do a lot of reading to learn what I was going to say, so as I knew what was coming. So then by the time it comes, I wasn't worried about what's coming on because I'd rehearsed it and I was ready. And it's the same with training. When I used to play, I used to train so hard in the week, and I used to make sure that I hit the target all the time in the week. So as when you play on a Saturday, I wasn't worried about that. So it kind of relieves the pressure because you've been doing good things. And in respect of the bands, the Beatles or the Queen, I'm Freddie Mercury. I'm going Queen all day long.
Okay.
I love Queen and Freddie Mercury.
Okay, all right. Cal, what about you?
For me, handling pressure, basically I use sometimes a little bit of self-talk. I could be talking to myself on the pitch, just walking around. If I miss a chance, I'm like, don't worry, go again. And I use the analogy of like throwing darts. If you're trying to aim for a bullseye straight away, it's unlikely you're going to hit it. Sometimes it might be with your finishing. You keep going, stay focused, don't tense up. And that way you stay nice and relaxed, ready for the next opportunity that comes your way.
Beatles or Queen?
You don't even know. Name one Queen song, bro.
Bob Marley. I think I'd say Beatles, no, big band, that's all I remember, yeah.
Augusta, you happy with those answers? Right, next up, we've got Stanley, who's coming through with another big question. Stanley, you ready?
Callum, as your next celebration for your goal, your next goal, can you hit the griddy?
Can you hit the griddy? Now, you did show me earlier, you can't get nervous now. I need to see it.
It's gritty, man.
We want to see it.
Show us the gritty.
Jeez, aye, all right then.
Yeah, try and hit the grids, bro.
Hey, I'll be on that, I'll be on that. I don't mind. I'll put a little salute in there and I'll hit the griddy.
Yeah, hit the griddy.
Hit the griddy real quick.
Okay. You know what? You better get practicing
Hey,
because...
I'm a stiff guy, I have to loosen up a little bit.
Righty, I said that you're not scoring goals anymore, so we might have to see it on TikTok if England score on Friday. You might have to just do the griddy on TikTok for him instead.
Yeah, I'll hit the griddy and send it to him.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Right hitting the griddy, who would have thought?
Last big question we've got from Daniel.
In your opinion, what's the best goal you've ever scored?
Cal, you better answer that. Mine are too old for this guy.
For me, best goal I've ever scored. Probably, I think it was a half volley for Bournemouth against West Ham. Outside the box, goalkeeper just didn't even move. You know, when you hit it so sweet, goalie just don't even try. Cause I think it went so far in the corner, you know. Clean strike.
Those are the best. Those are the best.
Right, go on, you got to give us something, because I remember there's
I'll probably say I scored a nice chip against Leeds, and I scored one against, what's it, Neville Southall, where I hit it over his head, that one. And then,
yeah.
Yeah, because like when the goalies don't move, that's what you've taken their soul away. They can't blame anyone. You've just absolutely finished them. And I like that because goalies are always looking to blame someone. But when you do that, they don't move.
Yeah.
That's because you've taken their soul.
Taking souls from goalkeepers, but there's two big strikers to get that from. Now, as great as those questions are, it's not the only reason we're here. So I'm going to hand back to Mr. Ian Wright, who's got something he wants to talk to you about. Over to you, Wrighty.
Nice one. Okay, so in the summer, M&S Foods ran a competition as part of their Eat Well campaign where shoppers could nominate their local school or grassroots club, and money can't buy prize of a training masterclass with some of the England men's team. So, Westgate School in Winchester, I'm pleased to say that a group of your students have won it. Woo! So you're going to St George's Park to watch the lads.
Absolutely incredible. So they've won a training session at St George's Park with England legends.
Unbelievable.
So from school uniform, because that is the stuff of dreams. How great is that? A training session with the England squad at St George's Park. Now, look, as exciting as that is, it wouldn't have been possible without their teacher, Mrs. Croucher, who won the prize for the school. Mrs. Croucher, how are you doing?
I'm all right, Liam.
Well, look.
Really excited.
What an amazing thing that you've won
I don't
for
think
these
it's quite
students.
hit home with them yet that they've actually going to get to train with the England squad. Wow.
Incredible. Now, the big question I wanted to know, when you bought the product from M&S,
Yeah.
what was it you bought?
It
Because
wasn't,
that's like
it
winning
wasn't,
the
it wasn't one
golden
product,
ticket.
because I live in M&S. I buy all my food in M&S, you can tell.
Nice one,
No, it was enter the competition. Then every time you bought healthy food products, you got an entry into the competition. And I was just delighted. I couldn't have been more happy for the school. It's just such a biggie.
It's an amazing thing. Are you going to be joining them on the
I
football
hope
pitch
to.
with the
Yeah,
team?
I really want to come on the little trip with them. This is huge. Isn't it?
Will you hit a griddy if you scored
No,
a goal?
no, definitely
griddies?
not.
I need to see it. You got the shades on. It's ready.
No,
It's there
can't
to
do
go. Well, look, Josh, everyone here is super excited. So come back to me in a few minutes and we'll speak to a few more students. Back to you, Josh.
Incredible. Thanks, Liam, man. Really, really appreciate that. What a prize it is. Imagine going out to St George's Park. Look, Ian, you've been there, Carl. You practically live there these days now. Like, how nice is the setup over there? What can they expect?
Well, Cal could tell them more than, you know what I mean, because I've been there and it's amazing. You know, it's everything. It's an elite place to go to because that's where the elite are, men's and women's. So, you know, all the pictures, the lads, it's just a magnificent place. It's so inspiring.
Are we going to see that? They better win the school league. Let me tell you, after that session, England players down there teaching, you better be down there teaching them to finish and take striker souls. I'm not sure that's on the curriculum these days, but it will be now, let me tell you.
You better put that on there and they can teach me how to do the griddy as well.
You got to learn first, brother.
No, I'll be on it.
Now, we've heard about some of the games that you play. One of the big ones, basketball, darts. Have you got involved in Wolf?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard you're not too bad. Right, you ever played Wolf?
No.
Okay, well, we'll explain to you off camera. We had a long chat with Rammers about it yesterday, but basically it means you're a good liar if you're good at the game.
Is it?
You think you could get involved in it?
Probably could, yeah.
My missus won't be happy that I'm good at it.
Now, it's absolutely incredible. Obviously, they get to come down to St George's Park. It's a big prize, and obviously, you know, eat well, play well. So hopefully, you know, they're shopping in the healthy hour over there at M&S. Now, we're actually going to go back to Westgate School. I think Liam is back there right now with some of the fans who might have a couple of questions for you. So I'm pretty excited.
Okay.
Yes, Josh, I think the news just settled in. There was a few more shock teachers. One of their teachers just came in and told them the news that 15 of them would be going to St George's Park. So first up, we're going to speak to Lucy. Now, Lucy, How excited are you to have a training masterclass with the England team?
I'm very excited. It's a really cool opportunity. And we didn't know till like 10 seconds ago. So, yeah, it's really exciting.
Now, what position do you play? What are you looking forward to most about going to the home of football to train with the boys?
I play centre mid. And I'm looking forward to like just being there and seeing what it's like, because it's going to be like the best facilities. So.
Now, next up, we might have a future Lioness. She's captain of the under-15 squad, and they won the County Cup final last year. Rosie, you love football, right?
Yeah, of course.
Now, what position do you play for this team, and who are you most looking forward to seeing at the training day?
I play right wing, and honestly, anyone. It's so exciting. It kind of hasn't sunk in, so anyone who I see is going to be great.
Now, when you just heard the news just then, what was your first thought?
Probably that I'll mess up in front of them and it'll be really embarrassing.
No, not at all. It's a safe space. It's a safe space. Now, next up, we've got Josh. Keen footballer?
Yeah, very keen. I love playing it. It's the game I've loved since childhood, basically. So I absolutely love it.
Come over here, Josh. Make sure they can see you. If you're hiding behind there, you've got to see Callum and Wright. Yeah. It's the best game in the world, isn't it, football?
Yeah, there's just something about it that's so different to every other sport. It's just something special. It has a power to bring everyone together.
And now Callum and Wrighty are there, so this is a big question. Who's your favourite England player? You don't have to say Callum.
I'll probably say Jude Bellingham. I think he's just... I love him. I love the way he plays and stuff. And he's also got a good fashion sense as well.
You like Bellingham's drip, yeah? Yeah. So, Callum, you've been nudged out there by star boy Bellingham, but I think, Josh, Wrighty and Callum, you can gauge the excitement here in the school. It's an incredible opportunity to train with the England squad. But I head back to you in Qatar. Cheers.
Incredible. Nice. Thank you very much. That's nice. You can tell they're still shell-shocked. The opportunity they get is absolutely massive.
I like how confident they were speaking there. That looks like a good school.
Yeah,
it looks like a good school. I like the way they were moving there.
Listen, you better not tell the other Josh that, you know what I mean, Jude Bellingham might have caught one of them biceps today.
I would have picked Jude myself. You know, he's a good player, quality youngster. He's got a big career ahead of him, yeah.
No, for sure. Now, I told you we had a packed show. It's time for Sharpshooters.
Yeah.
Okay?
Listen,
this is the darts game that is taking the sweep of the whole of England camp. We've had guys come in, okay, and say, listen, this is going to be me. I'm going to be top of the leaderboard. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and crumble. Okay, I don't want to mention names, but Raheem Sterling, okay, he didn't give it the big talk, but the 31 is propping up the bottom of the leaderboard, okay? And then we've got the three boys on 66, Luke, Deck, and Mace, all got 66 in a row, first three shows. And then Jude Bellingham was top for one day. Okay, and he came in with a lot of confidence. You know what he's like.
Yeah,
and he seems to be one of those boys who's just good at absolutely everything.
Yeah.
So,
he's a freak.
And at the top, Aaron Ramsdale. He's a darts superstar. Honestly, I don't know many darts players, but Phil the Power Taylor comes to mind. Chalk on the fingers. He was doing all this. He was gauging the wind.
Really, yeah.
91 out of a possible 100.
Really?
So, let me know, where do you think you're going to come on that list?
Darts. I used to play back in the day.
Okay. I think you're an undercover darts player right here.
Nah, for me, as long as I'm not at the bottom, I'm happy. Raz can stay at the bottom. He's small, bless him. He might not have sin up there, so we'll let him off with that one. But yeah, as long as I come in middle of the road, I'm happy, man. Yeah.
All right, okay. Right, I know you actually had a little go on Sharpshooters, so I don't want to tell too many people that you had a practice, but.
Am I doing this well? I thought it was just
you're gonna. I want you to do commentary.
Okay,
right? I want you to treat this like it is the World Cup final, because it's very serious. Okay, because this is bragging rights in camp. A lot of people have fought very, very hard to be on this show, not only on this show, but to get on that leaderboard as well.
Yeah.
All right. So you're ready?
I think
you know what? I think it's time to let my previous self explain the rules of this game while we walk over there and enjoy a little bit of Sharpshooters. Here we go. The rules are simple. Players will have unlimited darts to hit as many of the targets as they can within 30 seconds. Each target has a different amount of points up for grabs, but once a target's been hit, either on the outer ring or the inner circle, the player must move on to another and can't return to a target in an attempt to rack up more points. A massive 100 points is up for grabs if a player manages to hit all of the inner circles, but only if they dare go for glory and attempt the golden target. This target's high risk though, because if a dart hits the keeper, the player will go from hero to 0 and lose all of their points. Who'll go for gold and who'll throw it all away? Let's play Sharpshooters. Okay, listen, if you don't know the rules by now, you should have got to know. Okay, Cal, let me just remind you, okay? You have 30 seconds.
Yep.
Okay, unlimited amount of darts.
Yeah.
You can only hit each target once. The maximum score you can possibly get if you hit all the inner circles is 100. But be careful, if you go for glory and go for the 40, but you hit the keeper's hand,
Yep.
keeper saves it, you're back to 0, game is done, you finish with 0 points. It's like Eurovision.
Really, yeah?
Okay. It's very, very serious.
So what, I
here.
don't even get to go to 0 and build back up again?
No way. Listen, and it's very serious here. Okay, I've got my cards. Any encroaching on this line, hey, this is very serious. I know what you're like.
Already,
I know what you're like.
I've got the arrows ready on the waist side.
Here we go. Very, very serious. Very serious.
The referees, you know what they're like. You push it away.
I don't want to have to bring it out. I don't want to have to bring it out. Listen, the only person this kind of done me is Jude. He said he wasn't very good at darts. He threw the first 2 at the bottom of the board, and I moved it forward, and suddenly he was very good. He was very good. So, you know how this works, okay? Righty, come in for the commentary. Right, this is the commentary gantry right here.
Okay, cool.
Okay? 30 seconds. Do you know the rules?
Do I not get a practice for it?
No, bro.
Absolutely.
Straight in.
Thank you.
Straight in.
There we go.
Where's the
VAR as
tens
well. Right, come forward a step. Here we go.
So 1 in each one?
30 seconds, 1 in each one. Okay, you have 30 seconds on my count. 1, 2, 3.
Yes,
Straight in the 10. What's going on? Oh, these are some nice darts over here.
Ooh,
Man's a
25.
serious darts player, though.
Ooh, 35. I'm liking it, bro.
Right, come in. I'm in the danger zone.
Oh!
I thought...
It's still 60.
There we go.
65.
Disappointing.
That was quite nice, man.
Okay.
I need another go.
Let's come and check them. Let's all come and check them out.
I thought that was pretty good. Nice vibe.
There's no need for a VAR here. There's no need because we got... Right, what did you count it? Because my maths on this show has been poor. 65. Can we confirm it's 65? Not that I don't trust you, right? But I've been done before.
You don't trust me, otherwise you would have just taken my 65.
It's 65. There we go.
Thank you very much.
There we go. Right, let's go to the board. Right, do you want to do the honours?
Yeah.
Of placing Callum?
It's middle of the road, isn't it?
Well, I thought it was a pretty good effort from his whole
Bad.
Here we go.
Should have went that one.
So he's under here,
See
right?
that?
So 65.
Hey, look at that. Should have.
Wow. You hit the same spot you hit last time.
Why don't you just go for that?
I know, I should have just kept... You can only get 1 in 1.
Thank you
Look
very
at
much.
that consistency.
Now, guys, the sad news is you're ruining our dartboard on Sharpshooters. The good news is we're going to be back tomorrow. That was Lion's Den with M&S Food. Guys, right, it was an absolute pleasure to have you on board in camp.
It's just pleased to be in the den,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
You should see Wright in camp. He's like a celebrity. All the boys kind of flood out of nowhere. They don't do this for me.
Like the uncle, innit?
Outrageous. Right, guys, well, as I said, we're back tomorrow. We're going to be live on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Guys, we will see you tomorrow, and we're going to have a very special guest, one of the Toon Army coming in. Enjoy. Have a good one.